If you're a man over 60 and you've stopped waking up with morning erections, let me be clear. This isn't just a sign of aging, it's a silent warning. Your body is telling you that blood flow to your most vital area is slowing down. That loss of energy, that quiet fading of morning vitality, it's not inevitable. It's reversible. And it starts with just 2 minutes and 3 simple touch points that you've likely never heard about in your entire life. I'm Dr. James. For over 3 decades, I've dedicated my career to helping older men restore their confidence, circulation, and intimacy naturally and safely. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s regain the strength they thought was gone for good. Not with pills, not with surgery, but with powerful techniques that reconnect the mind, body, and nervous system. Now, I know this might sound unusual, pressing points on your own body to restore blood flow and morning erections. It may seem too simple to be real, but here's what most men don't know. Your body is filled with nerve-rich energy centers that control circulation, tension, and even desire. And when you gently activate just 3 of these points, on your lower abdomen, the crown of your head, and the sole of your foot, you begin to trigger a shift deep inside your nervous system that allows blood to flow where it matters most. In this video, I'll guide you step by step through this powerful 2-minute routine. By the end, you'll know how to awaken your body, restore your manhood, and see real changes in just 7 days. But the most important insight is coming shortly, so stay with me. What you'll hear next may completely change how you view aging, desire, and the power still alive in you. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Tap that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another powerful tip designed to help you reclaim your vitality, confidence, and circulation after 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'm here to serve you better, and your feedback truly matters. All right, now let's get to the part that matters most, how to actually do this. We'll begin with the first and most essential point. A spot just below your navel known in Eastern medicine as the Sea of Energy. This isn't just poetic language. This point, called CV6, is directly connected to deep pelvic blood flow and the nerves that influence your lower abdomen and groin. By stimulating it the right way, you're sending a powerful message to your body. It's time to wake up, circulate, and restore what age has quietly taken away. Let me show you exactly where it is and how to activate it. Point 1. CV6, Sea of Energy, below the navel. This first point, CV6, known as the Sea of Energy, holds far more power than most men realize. It sits just an inch or 2 below your belly button, and although it's easy to overlook, it's deeply connected to your core circulation, pelvic nerves, and lower abdominal function. In traditional Eastern medicine, this point has been used for centuries to stimulate life force, restore vitality, and awaken what they call the root of male strength. But this isn't just ancient philosophy. Today, we know that this region is home to major blood vessels and nerves that impact everything from bladder control to erectile function. I remember one of my patients, Bill, a 67-year-old retired firefighter who came into my office frustrated. He wasn't feeling like himself. His energy was fading and morning erections had disappeared months ago. We didn't start with pills. We started right here with CV6. I taught him how to gently tap on this point for 30 seconds each night before bed. He looked skeptical, but within a week he told me, "Doc, I woke up feeling something I haven't felt in years." That wasn't just circulation returning, it was hope. When you tap CV6 using 2 or 3 fingers with light but steady rhythm, you're doing more than just touching your body. You're making contact with your nervous system. You're reminding your body how to send blood where it matters. It helps relax the pelvic floor, reduce internal pressure, and open pathways to the arteries that fuel an erection. For many men, this simple action, done with purpose and calm breathing, can begin to restore a function they thought was lost forever. But this is only the beginning. Tapping CV6 sets the foundation, but the real transformation comes when you combine it with the next point. Because while CV6 works from the ground up, Our next location starts from the top down, and its effects on stress, mental clarity, and sexual performance might just surprise you. Let's keep going. What I'll share next is something most men have never considered, and yet it may be the reason everything changes. Point 2. GV20. 100 meetings as sit up of the head. Now that we've activated the sea of energy at the core of your body, we move to a place most men wouldn't associate with sexual health at all, the very top of your head. GV20, also known as the 100 meetings, is a remarkable point located right at the crown where an invisible line drawn from ear to ear meets the center of your scalp. While CV6 works through the body, GV20 works through the mind. And in men over 60, the mind often holds more tension than we care to admit. You see, as we age, stress becomes more than just an emotional weight. It becomes physical. Stress constricts blood vessels, tightens the pelvic floor, and blocks the very flow needed for arousal and performance. You might not even notice it happening, but your body does, and that's why GV20 matters. I remember speaking with Richard, a 72-year-old widower who had all but given up on intimacy. He told me, "It's not just my body, Doc, it's my head. I can't shut it off." I guided him to gently tap GV20, using his fingertips in slow, calming rhythm for just half a minute each night before bed. The change didn't happen overnight, but a few days in, he said he began sleeping deeper. The tension in his chest was lighter. And then one morning, the impossible happened. His body responded. "I thought that part of me was gone," he said, "but it was my thoughts that were blocking it." When you tap GV20, you're not just touching skin, you're calming the noise. You're softening the grip of performance anxiety, overthinking, and years of quiet frustration. This point helps you reclaim peace inside your head, which sends a signal of safety to the rest of your body. That signal is what allows arousal to rise naturally, because your nervous system cannot open to pleasure if it is locked in survival mode. But we're not done yet. You've grounded your energy with CV6, calmed your mind with GV20, but there's still one final piece missing. It lies at the opposite end of the body, in a place that connects your entire system in a way most men never expect. And once you activate it, everything starts to flow together. What I'm about to show you might be the most powerful point of all. Point 3. K1. Bubbling spring, sole of your foot. After waking up the body's core and quieting the mind, we come to the final point, one that grounds everything. It's called K1, or the bubbling spring, and it's located on the sole of your foot just beneath the ball. At first glance, it might seem odd to focus on your foot when talking about erections and blood flow, but this point plays a critical role in calming the overactive nervous system that often robs older men of their full vitality. Think about it. How many times have you felt restless, anxious, or disconnected from your own body? You may lie in bed, your mind racing, your body tense, and no matter what you do, nothing feels right. That's because as we grow older, our nervous system tends to stay in a state of low-grade alarm. It's subtle, but it keeps blood vessels tight, breathing shallow, and intimacy just out of reach. I remember meeting Harold, a 69-year-old man who told me he hadn't had a solid night's sleep or a decent erection in almost a year. He was tired, discouraged, and deeply frustrated. We walked through this tapping practice together, and when we got to the bubbling spring, something shifted. "I didn't think tapping my foot would do anything," he said. "But that night I slept like I did in my 40s. And the next morning, I woke up ready." When you gently tap K1, you're helping your body switch from fight or flight to rest and repair. You're telling your system, it's safe to let go, safe to soften. And when that signal reaches your pelvic region, it allows the blood vessels to dilate, the tissues to respond, and the natural process of arousal to return. This is the final point, but not the final step. Because while each point on its own has power, it's when you combine them in the right order with the right intention that transformation really happens. Coming up next, I'll walk you through the exact 2-minute routine so you can bring it all together and experience the shift for yourself starting tonight. 4. The 2-minute daily ritual, step by step. Now that you understand the power of each point, let's bring it all together into a simple daily ritual. This isn't about forcing results or chasing quick fixes. It's about reconnecting with your body, gently, intentionally, and giving it permission to work the way it was meant to. This 2-minute sequence is something you can do every night before bed or even in the quiet moments before your day begins. And while it may seem simple, it holds the potential to unlock a part of you that's been asleep far too long. Start by finding a comfortable, quiet space. Sit or lie down. Take 3 slow, deep breaths, not rushed, not mechanical, but conscious breaths that signal to your body, I'm here, I'm listening. Begin with CV6, just below your navel. Use 2 or 3 fingers and tap gently for about 30 seconds. As you do, breathe into that space. Visualize warmth, circulation, energy moving down into your pelvic region. Next, shift your attention to the crown of your head. GV20. Let your fingertips make soft, rhythmic contact with the very top center of your scalp. Again, about 30 seconds. With each tap, imagine the noise in your mind quieting, the tension dissolving, your thoughts becoming calm and still. You're allowing your nervous system to let go of control and ease into balance. Finally, bring your awareness down to the soles of your feet. K1, the bubbling spring. Use your thumb or fingers to tap gently on each foot for 20 seconds. Feel yourself grounded, present, stable, as if your entire body is finally aligned, head, heart, and lower body in complete connection. That's it. 2 minutes, just you, your breath, and your fingertips. No medication, no equipment, just presence, rhythm, and care. And what's beautiful is that it begins working quietly, often before you realize it. Men who make this a habit begin to sleep deeper, feel more relaxed, and wake up with more energy, and yes, often with firmer morning erections. But what should you expect next? How soon will you feel a difference, and how will you know it's working? That's what I'll walk you through next, because what happens over the next 7 days might surprise you. 5. What to expect in 7 days. Most men I speak to are skeptical at first. They hear 2 minutes a day and wonder how something so small can make a real difference. But I've seen it again and again. When a man truly commits to this practice, even for just 7 days, something begins to shift. Not always in dramatic, fireworks-filled ways, but in subtle, meaningful signals that the body is remembering how to function naturally again. In the first 2 days, you may notice your breathing slows more easily at night. Your body feels more at ease. The tension that sits in your lower back or hips might feel lighter. These are signs your nervous system is responding, letting go of stress and preparing for deeper rest. That's the quiet foundation where healing begins. By the 3rd or 4th day, your mind may feel calmer in the evenings. Thoughts don't spiral as much. You fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer. You might wake in the early morning hours with a slight pressure or sensation you haven't felt in a while. It may not be a full erection yet, but it's a signal. Blood is returning, energy is rising. By the 6th or 7th day, many men report a noticeable difference. More strength, more sensitivity, a quiet confidence growing beneath the surface. It's not about becoming who you were at 25, it's about reclaiming a part of yourself that never truly left. It was simply buried under years of stress, fatigue, and disconnection. I had one man, 74 years old, email me after 1 week. He said, I didn't think anything would change, but on day 7 I woke up and smiled before I even opened my eyes. I felt something I thought I'd lost for good. These first 7 days are powerful, but they're only the beginning. Because once you see signs of change, the next question is, how do you keep the momentum going? How do you amplify the results, go even deeper, and turn this small practice into something that transforms your health long-term? That's exactly what we're going to cover next. Let's make sure you don't just get results, you build on them. 6. Booster tips to maximize results. Once you begin to feel the difference, whether it's deeper sleep, a sense of calm, or a stirring of morning energy, you'll likely want to do more to support this change. That's where a few powerful, simple boosters can take this practice to the next level. These aren't about overcomplicating things, they're about creating the ideal environment inside your body so that blood can flow freely and energy can rise without resistance. First, let's talk about hydration. Most older men are mildly dehydrated, and that alone can restrict circulation and reduce sensitivity. Start drinking a full glass of water before bed, not too much to disturb your sleep, but enough to keep your blood volume strong and flowing. Add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon to help with absorption. Second, magnesium. This mineral is one of your nervous system's best friends. It calms tension, relaxes muscles, and supports vascular health. A simple magnesium supplement before bed can improve the effects of your tapping routine, especially if you tend to carry tightness in your hips or lower back. Third, avoid heavy meals or alcohol right before sleep. These make your body work overtime through the night, disrupting rest and hormonal balance. Instead, opt for a light dinner and let your body wind down with purpose. Fourth, bring awareness to your breathing. As you tap, slow your breath. Feel your body. Don't rush through the motions, honor the ritual. I often say it's not just what you do that matters, it's how you do it. The presence you bring changes everything. And finally, be patient with yourself. You're not trying to force a result, you're building trust with your own body again. That takes consistency, gentleness, and respect. And when you give yourself that, your body gives back in ways you may not expect. These small changes, added to your nightly tapping, form a foundation for long-term renewal. You're not chasing youth, you're cultivating strength, balance, and freedom as the man you are now. But there's one final message I want to leave you with. Because none of the tapping, the breathing, the routines means anything if you don't believe that you still deserve intimacy, connection, and power in this chapter of your life. And in this closing message, I want to speak to your heart, not just your health. Conclusion. You've just learned something that most men go their entire lives without ever hearing. Not because it's complicated or hidden, but because too many of us were taught to ignore the quiet, natural wisdom of our own bodies. We were told that losing our edge, our energy, our erections was just a part of getting older, and we believed it. But today I hope you felt something different. A shift. A sense that maybe, just maybe, there's more power left in you than you've been led to believe. You now know the 3 vital points. CV6 below the navel to awaken blood flow, GV20 at the top of the head to quiet the mind, and K1 on the sole of your foot to calm and ground your nervous system. You've learned how these points, when tapped in a focused, intentional way, can send messages through your nervous system that open blood vessels, reduce tension, and prepare your body for the natural morning response it once knew so well. You've discovered a simple 2-minute ritual that's easy to do, yet powerful in how it reconnects you with yourself. You've seen what can happen in just 7 days, how sleep deepens, confidence rises, and how hope begins to stir again. And with the booster tips we talked about, hydration, magnesium, gentle breathing, and conscious presence, you now have a full system of renewal that doesn't rely on medication, devices, or anyone else but you. I've worked with men for over 30 years, and I'll tell you something I've learned that no textbook ever taught me. Healing happens when a man finally believes he's still worthy of feeling alive, still worthy of touch, of arousal, of pride. The body listens when you start to care again, and that care is where everything begins. This is not about becoming younger, it's about becoming whole. It's about waking up every day feeling like yourself again. So take these steps, do the practice, feel the shift. And remember, you haven't lost your power. It's been waiting for you to come back home to it. Now is your time. Don't let it slip away.